I'm sitting here with Simon Turmanis, Principal Psychologist here at Simon Turmanis and Associates, Clinical Psychologist. It's a private practice on the northern beaches of Sydney. Simon, you recently ran an interactive workshop here in the practice with 6 psychologists and 3 admin staff members, and this was on client retention. It was called Client Retention, Helping People Well and Preventing Premature Termination from Therapy. And now you're going to run this workshop at other private practices with teams. Could you let the audience know, Simon, why every psychologist, counsellor, social worker, mental health worker who does psychological therapy should attend this workshop?
Thanks, Angelica. As our practice manager, you were privy to the workshop that I ran about a month ago here in the practice for our whole team.
Yeah.
Sure. The workshop is very important around new research that's come out to do with dose response. So dose being one psychological session, response being how the client responds. And the research suggests that most patients don't actually receive enough therapy to reach even a moderate level of clinically meaningful change in Australia and also in the US. The average number of sessions clients attend therapy in Australia is 6. And research supports that half of the patients who are receiving therapy are only receiving a quarter of the length of treatment that the research literature has noted is necessary to observe a 50% response rate. So what you can learn in this interactive one-day workshop is how much therapy is enough. You'll learn what the relationship is between the length of time that patients spend in therapy and the quality of change the patient experiences and treatment outcomes. You will also understand a bit more about meta-analysis research around data sets to do with treatment outcomes as a function of treatment duration and how different symptoms improve at different rates. You will also learn how holding patients in treatment until satisfactory gains are achieved, why it's so challenging, and why it should be a focus of your clinical practice. You'll learn a little bit more about what client retention rates are and the uniquely different ways to measure and assess those. You'll also learn why client retention rates are so important and what poor client retention rates mean. So when your clients discontinue from therapy, what a negative effect that has on you, on your clients, on their treatment outcomes. You'll also learn a little bit about why clients cease or terminate therapy and what excellent treatment outcomes are and how they relate to your client retention rates and how to help people better. You will also learn how and why premature termination in therapy happens and what the research tells us about how to prevent it. We'll specifically focus on the 8 key areas of practice as psychologists, as therapists, as counsellors with our clients that we need to be mindful of and focus on if we're actually going to be able to help prevent them, our clients, from terminating prematurely from therapy based on all of the research literature, meta-analyses, and the data we have from the 1950s until now. And you'll learn how to increase your client retention rates, help them achieve superior treatment outcomes, and prevent your clients from terminating prematurely. Angelica, maybe you can let the audience know a little bit about how the work we've been doing in the last 18 months in the practice has helped our individual therapists improve their client retention rates, because that data was recently, we talked about that this morning.
Yeah, definitely. So in the last couple of years, we've been implementing this here at our practice with our clinicians, and as of, I believe, last week when we did our numbers, we had quite an increase. I don't remember the numbers from the top of my head.
I do, and I can quote them for the video.
Yeah, please.
So we've recently improved our client retention rates on average from 10 to 11 and a half sessions. So Each different clinician in the practice, we're aware of what those client retention rates are, and there's lots of different ways to measure it, so we have all of those numbers, but they significantly improved. So it means we're holding our clients in therapy for a longer period of time, and they're achieving superior treatment outcomes because of that.
Yeah, which is so important. Yeah, so...
All right, we hope to see you at one of our workshops coming up.